Welcome to the Worthy Well podcast with Nikki G. I am so glad you're here. This is a podcast that is about women that have ever doubted their worth. Maybe you didn't think that you were enough. Maybe you just feel like I am giving and I'm giving and I'm giving to a point of depletion. That is why I wanted to start the Worthy Well podcast. So if you know me, Nikki G, I have been talking on social media for years. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, I'm always talking. Listen, I am a talker, and it's not like I have it all figured out, but I've always been one to share what I do know and what I have learned on my journey of healing. And if you look at my custom built well, you are custom built. And the well is a place that we go for replenishment. And we go there when we need to be rehydrated and when we're like thirsty and just like dry. And sometimes we, as women that are trauma survivors or have been through some things, we are dry and depleted. And we give and we give and we give until we have nothing left. The Worthy Well podcast is a place where you can come to learn that you are worthy. You are worthy not because of your socioeconomic status, how you look, how much money you have, your education. You're worthy because you were born. And society does not teach us that. Society makes it seem like I have to look a certain way. I have to have a certain amount of money, and I have to have a status of my education. That is what society makes you feel like determines your worth. Your worth is because you were born. You are worthy because you are here. And despite the flaws, the mistakes, and the missteps, I'm here to tell you that you are still worthy. You are so worthy and you are so enough. And so the intention of the Worthy Well podcast is to remind you, introduce you to, and to let you know that you are worthy. You are worthy because you were born. And I'm so glad to have you here. I lived my life, most of my life, not realizing my worth. Didn't know I was worthy, did not feel like I was enough. And so what that did was it affected my decisions. When you do not know your worth, it affects how you see yourself. It affects how you allow other people to treat you. And it affects your decisions in life. And I want to prevent any woman from having to hit a rock bottom moment because you did not know your worth. And I also want to break the stigma of therapy. Therapy is not for crazy people. Therapy is for everyone. And what I know for sure is that untreated trauma is a powder keg and it's going to explode, sis. Okay? For some, it explodes in early childhood, in teenagerhood, if you want to say that, where a woman or a young teenager might be promiscuous because of what she experienced as trauma. Some experience it later in life, like myself, you know. So untreated trauma is a powder keg that will explode at some point. What I want the Worthy Well podcast to do is to allow you to walk through the journey with me, hear my story, and also the story of other women that I will bring on that have overcome obstacles and that are becoming. Because that's what this is about. We are becoming. And what I know for sure, because I'm going to be very, very transparent with you, I'm not exactly where I want to be. And I'm still learning and becoming. And so I, at times, felt fraudulent. Like, who am I to say anything to anyone? But what I've learned through doing the work is that I don't have to be finished to be qualified. Okay? My lived experience qualifies me to share with my sisters, okay, from other misters. And when I tell you I love everybody, the Worthy Well podcast with Nikki G is inclusive. I don't care your color, your creed, who you love. I am inclusive. I love you, and I'm concerned about you. So this is a space for everybody. Okay? Listen, everybody. And I know for sure that if you come to the Worthy Well You will find replenishment. You will find a place where you can be restored, because you're going to hear my story, and you will hear the story of other women that I bring on that have overcome obstacles. I want you to know that you are not alone. I want you to know that even though you may have had some flaws and made some mistakes, as I have, you are not like tied to that mistake. The mistake happened, but you are an overcomer and you can rise above it. And what I want you to know is this, because I know for me, I can forgive and forgive and forgive other people, but I had the hardest time forgiving myself. I want you at the Worthy Well podcast to give yourself some grace, to forgive yourself as you forgive others. Because sometimes as trauma survivors and we're not really sure of our worth and we don't know if we're enough, we forgive and we forgive and we forgive and we forget about ourselves. It's okay to forgive. I want you to be a forgiver. But just because you forgive doesn't mean you need to let the person back into your life. Okay? Sometimes we say yes when we want to say no, but we're afraid of what the no will bring. They won't approve of us. They won't love us anymore. And so the Worthy Well podcast is all about that. I want you to know your worth. We're going to talk about self-confidence versus self-worth. Two different things. Transparency. I've lost about 200 pounds over the past 15 years. And growing up as an obese child and an obese adult most of my life, I thought losing weight was going to be the mecca, the pinnacle, everything's going to be great. But what I learned is self-confidence is feeling good how you look in the moment. But self-worth is knowing who you are and that you're enough. And I learned that like losing the weight was not enough because I didn't know my self-worth. So it's great to look good and to lose the weight. But if you only have that, that's self-confidence. But if you don't have the self-worth, then it will affect how you see yourself and how you allow other people to treat you. And I want you to have the self-worth to know that when you walk into a room, you belong there. You belong in that room. You change the energy in the room when you walk there. But when you don't have self-worth, you won't believe that. And you will self-sabotage things. I have done it. There have been opportunities that I've had. I didn't believe that I was worthy. I sabotaged those opportunities, and I can never get those back. So I don't want that to happen to anybody else. That is my intention for the Worthy Well podcast with Nikki G. I do not want another woman to sabotage love because you don't feel like you're worthy of it, to sabotage an opportunity because you don't feel like you belong there. Like any moment now, they're going to figure out that I'm not her. Any moment now. That is what unworthiness looks like. And I, through my story and from the women that I bring on that have overcome obstacles, I want you to know that you are worthy and you can do it, anything. I'm going to be very transparent with you. I have been sitting on the idea of this podcast for probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years, if I'm honest. I doubted if I was good enough. I doubted if I was worthy enough. I doubted, what are they going to think? That they will hold us back every time. Even though I've been doing my social media and talking and everything, I still doubted myself. I was worried about judgment. I'm a woman of a certain age. I'm over 50. What is she doing? Who does she think she is? Okay. And I know a lot of y'all think that, you're going to think, who does she think she is? But this is what I know for sure. You are that girl. You are that woman, period. And the thing about manifesting greatness and speaking life over your life, sometimes it's going to feel fraudulent to you. Sometimes you're not going to believe it. I wake up and I do my gratitude and my manifestations and my I ams. I am beautiful. I am smart. I am resilient. I am worthy. I am an overcomer. There are some mornings when I repeat that and I say it, I don't always believe it. But what I know for sure is if you speak it and you believe it and you write it down, I'm big on journaling. I believe that when you do those things and you manifest it, it will come to pass. So the thing about manifestation and journaling and all that, it may seem like, why am I doing this? I don't even believe it. But when I tell you, when you write it and you think it and you believe it and you repeat it, it will come into fruition. And so the Worthy Well podcast with Nikki G, I'm excited to start it because I know that not only is it going to be something that's going to resonate and help my sisters from other misters, it's going to reinforce to me because I'm still on the journey. We're walking in this together. This is not something that I figured it all out. This is something that I know that I've learned some nuggets along the way, and I want to share it with you. I've gone through the therapy. I'm doing the work. Do I still sometimes find myself in a hamster's wheel? Yes. But with therapy, I have tools to catch myself. Like, okay, wait a minute. Okay. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to do, sisters. I want to let you all know that it's okay to even stumble. And it's okay to even feel like, okay, I messed up. But you catch yourself and you pick up and you go. So with the Worthy Well podcast with Nikki G, there will be times when it will just be my voice on Spotify. And I will have a topic. And I would hope that it would resonate with you. Other times, you will see me on YouTube, okay? And Spotify, you'll hear me. But you'll see me on YouTube. And either I will be solo or I will have a phenomenal guest, a woman that is overcome and is becoming. Because what I want you to know is that you're not alone. The Worthy Well podcast with Nikki G will have 3 segments. It's going to be the deep, the draw, and the pour. So the deep is going to be sometimes uncomfortable. We got to dig deep. We got to figure out what is the source of the problem. We got to figure out what is it that is going on that is causing me to keep going into these cycles. So the deep is going to be mainly the topic and what is going on with that, right? And then the draw is going to be what wisdom have I learned? What lessons have I learned? And if I have a guest, what lessons has that guest learned to draw from so that we can learn? And then the pour, that is going to be, how can we relate this to our life? How can we apply it? What are the things that we can do to apply what we've learned to our lives so that we can move on and do better and heal and grow? So I'm very excited about it, this Worthy Well. You know, when you think about a well, you have to go deep to get the water. The water is not at the surface, and that's okay because we got to go deep. If you think about dandelions, when I was a little girl, I loved dandelions because they were pretty and they were yellow. And I remember being in the backyard of my grandparents, and I would pick all the dandelions because they were just so pretty and they were so cute. And then I picked them all, and then they would just grow back. And I didn't understand. I'm like, they all grew back. Well, that's great. But what I know for sure in real life is that if we do not get to the root, okay, that bottom of the well, the root of what is going on with us is going to come back. So we can skim it off because we know the dandelion, you pick it off the top, it grows back, right? There are some things in our lives we don't want to grow back. We want to get to the root of it and pull it up from the root. And that's what the Worthy Brown Girl Network is about. And also the Worthy Well podcast with Nikki G is about. The Worthy Well podcast with Nikki G is all about growth and learning and knowing. I want you to know who you are. A lot of times, we'll ask someone like, who are you? And the person will say their occupation and how many children they have, and if they're married, their status. That is not who you are. Who are you? Do you know who you are? I am a person that loves people. I love to inspire. I love to help people to see their potential and to see their worth. I love to motivate people. And I'm in school now to get my master's degree in social work to be a therapist because I want to be that one to help those realize their true worth and to realize that the trauma was not their fault, but the healing is their responsibility. And I'll repeat that. The trauma is not our fault, but healing is our responsibility. It's our responsibility. We have tools to help us heal. So I cannot wait to have you all to keep joining me every week. I am learning this transparent. I do not know what I'm doing. None of us know what we're doing, if you think about it. We're all just walking day by day, doing the best that we can. But what I know for sure is that fear will paralyze you from the neck down. I've decided to walk into alignment and out of fear this year in 2026 to start the Worthy Well podcast with Nikki G, because I believe that there is something that I can impart into you, and I'll bring on guests that can to let you know that you are so worthy, sis. You're worthy because you were born. You're not worthy based on your education and how you look and your socioeconomic status. You are worthy because you were born. Maybe nobody ever told you that. I'm here to tell you that you're worthy. You are beautiful as you are. Maybe you don't feel good in your body right now. I know what that's like. I used to be 354 pounds. Okay. I know what it's like to not feel it. I know what it's like to not be told that you're pretty and you're beautiful. But what I'm telling you is where you are right now, you're enough. Right now. As you are, you're enough and you're beautiful. And with the Worthy Well podcast with Nikki G, it's going to be more than just the deep stuff. I love fashion. I love makeup and I love fragrance. I believe that a woman should always be put together and smell delicious. You know that if you follow me. And so sometimes you'll see me and I'll talk about my outfit or my fragrance, or I will cook something and talk about healthy dishes and movement and exercise, because I believe that it is a complete whole circle when it comes to who we are in our worthiness, our health, our wellness, our beauty, how we present ourselves, keeping a clean house and being organized. Listen, clutter, there is a complete emotional tie to clutter and how you feel about yourself. Do you find yourself with your room looking like Armageddon and you can't find anything? That is a whole thing, sis. It takes time, but if you can just take some time, one drawer at a time, one closet at a time, to organize and to clean and to declutter and to donate and to throw away, it matters. And so with the Worthy Well podcast with Nikki G, I want to talk about your worthiness, your self-worth, your ability to know that you can say no and still be loved. And if they don't love you after saying no, then that person is an opportunist and you don't need that person anyway. You deserve love, okay, because you are love. You deserve to live in a space that is orderly and not cluttered. You deserve to walk outside and present yourself in a way so that you feel good about yourself and that others will perceive you in the way that you deserve to be perceived. So I really love you. I am Nikki G. I am not anyone that has figured it all out. But what I know for sure is that I don't have to have it all figured out to share what I know. And what I know for sure is this: you are worthy. And your worth is not determined by anything else but the fact that you were born. And so every week I will be going to the well, and we will have a worthy well word of the week. This week's word is deep. It's deep. I want you to dig deep and to think about some of the things that have been holding you back, some of the cycles that you keep going through. Do you keep finding yourself in the same place? You'll get out of the relationship that is very toxic, and you find yourself getting right back in it because you really just are afraid to let go. Do you find yourself maybe even getting out of debt, but somehow, some way, you get right back in it because you're buying things to fill a void? These are things that happens when you are not really sure of your worth and know that you're enough. So the Worthy Well podcast, where your worth runs deep. You can follow me on YouTube at the Worthy Well podcast. Please subscribe and like and comment because your comments mean a lot. I'm going to be putting a lot of the comments in the Worthy Well, and I will be drawing them to present to other people. So just know that your comments mean a lot. And if you have a suggestion or a question, I will put them in the Worthy Well and yours might be picked. And if this has resonated with you and can help someone else, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. You can also find me on Spotify at the Worthy Well podcast. You can listen to it on your way to work when you're getting ready and you don't have time to watch me on YouTube. You can listen too. So you can find me on Spotify. And I just want to let you know this. I am a mother of a 21-year-old wonderful son. I call him my Bubsy. He is my Julian, and he is a junior in college at Western Michigan University. I work full time as an operations manager and navigator at A Brighter Way. And we assist those that were formerly incarcerated and justice impacted with social support and service connections. And I am a full-time graduate student at the Howard University, studying for my master's in social work. So I have a lot going on, and a lot of us have a lot going on. But what I know for sure is this. When you have a purpose and a calling on your life, you make time for it. If you need to hear this, know this. If there's something that is deep down in you that you really want to do, go for it. Do not let fear paralyze you. Fear will paralyze you from the neck down. If you have a calling that is on your life, it is for you to do. And I am encouraging you to do it. Do it scared, do it nervous, do it trembling. Just do it. Just start. Don't wait to have all the bells and whistles, all the things. You're waiting to have this, you're waiting to have that. Just start, sis. Because I just told you what I have going on in my life, right? And I'm still starting because my intention is to help. If your intentions are pure and genuine, all the things will happen. And I'm just giving you that little nugget for free. I love you. I mean it. Bye. And this is my outfit of the day. It is so comfortable and it is so soft. It is giving, y'all. I love it. And the perfume that I'm wearing, the fragrance of the day, is by our girl, Tabitha Brown. Her business. When I tell you, it is everything. And remember, a woman should always be pulled together and smell delicious. And so come on back next week to the Worthy Well podcast with Nikki G, where your worth runs deep. Thank you for being on this journey with me. I love you. I mean it.